What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me while I'm out here getting my 10,000 steps in. One of my subs commented on a video of mine earlier, letting me know that he had already gotten his in for the day. That is awesome. I was very happy to see that. Stuff like that, it really does please me. I'm glad to see that I can motivate people, that I can influence people in such a positive way to get out here and do things to improve their health. What am I hearing? Somebody got some dogs going. I'm gonna cross over here so that they won't be quite as loud. For those of you, the rest of you that are doing the 10,000 steps too, following me doing this, I hope you guys got your steps in already, or you're closing in on the goal. I'm almost at it. But let's get into the topic at hand. We got changes happening with Section 8. Our Commander-in-Chief has said that he is going to be making sweeping changes to Section 8, and he has revealed what some of that is going to be. For one, he is going to be cutting back 40%. That is quite significant of the funding. He says that the states can fill in the gaps if they want to. I wouldn't rely on that if I was y'all, man. If you're somebody that's been on Section 8 and you're especially in one of these blue states, they'll put a battery in your back hyping you up about this, and that, but they never put their money where their mouth is when it counts. So don't think for a second that they're gonna swoop in and use state funding to fill in for this. They are absolutely not. This is one of them things where you are gonna have to get out in front of it and make some lifestyle adjustments in order to keep the roof over your head. Also, it is going to receive a 2-year cap. Now, based on what I was reading, I couldn't tell if the cap was retroactive or if it's from when this actually goes into effect. For a lot of people, I'm hoping that it's not retroactive, because that would be disastrous for some folks. So fingers crossed for y'all that are on Section 8 and aren't ready to take over the task of paying rent on your own. Man, for real. Fingers crossed for you that this is not retroactive, that it's going to be from the date that this goes into effect, 2 years from then. I mean, I don't have a problem with this because I'm a person that grinds. I'm a hustler. I get out, I do what I do, and it's not nothing personal against anybody. It's just the fact that I don't think it's right that people like myself go out, grind and hustle and find a way out of no way, and then the tax dollars that's being siphoned from what we earned is being used to give somebody a zero rent because they can't work, they don't want to work, or some other circumstances that they believe they're now entitled to have the total of their rent covered. I can't get with that, man. I've never liked that. I've never been in support of that. And now some changes are being done about it. And I mean, I'm not even gonna make no apologies about it, man. I'm not at all upset that this change is happening. In fact, to me, it's about time. I have seen with my own eyes, just growing up living in this great city, I've seen people be on Section 8 literally for decades, right? They have kids that are adults in their mid-20s. They've been on Section 8 since before their kids were born. This is not an exaggeration. That's the best example that I can give you for why there needs to be a cap. The fact that with the current system, that somebody can just be on Section 8 forever. So I could work my whole life paying rent or paying my mortgage, whatever, paying for the roof over my head, being a responsible adult, rent or not. And someone else can get some greatly reduced monthly rent off of my back. They're paying $200, $300, $400. Hey, how are you? I know somebody that when their Section 8 rent was raised to $400, they were complaining about it. I mean, how insane is that? They're so used to their rent being little to nothing that it being $400, which in my opinion is still little to nothing, they were complaining about it. So yeah, it created very much a deep sense of entitlement. I know people that were zero renters for a very long time. It's not that they were without money, it's just that there was nothing traceable. You know, if you know what I mean. So, And then you got these other situations where you got women that's got Section 8, they got some bum leech sitting up, living in the house and he ain't supposed to be. They got some bum leech living in the house who don't produce, don't do nothing, living in a Section 8 apartment, and they got kids, and the bum is eating a bridge car. You know, just a lot of really grimy stuff going on that I don't want to be on the hook for paying for anymore. I didn't want to be on the hook paying for it for the time that we all have been. So I'm okay with these changes being made. I think the only people that are going to really be upset about these changes being made are the people who are on Section 8 and don't want it to go away. But we all have to produce. If you give somebody the option to not produce and still have all of their basic needs and necessities and a handful of extras taken care of, they're going to opt to take that. Why wouldn't they? You know, if they're looking around and they're seeing how everyone else is busting their ass to get some of the same stuff that they're getting by just doing nothing, why would they do anything differently? I have seen so many situations where a person was without health care, they're busting their butt and they can't afford health care. Meanwhile, someone who's not producing has fantastic health care. They can go to the doctor anytime they want, get anything taken care of, where the person who's grinding, they can't afford to pay for health care on their own. So Trump said that this whole system was dysfunctional, and I'm inclined to agree. It's very much so. Over here, things are very expensive where I live at. I live in downtown Detroit. Now, there's quite a few people who live here who are only able to hold on to living here because they're receiving Section 8. So the landscape is going to change over here. There's going to be a lot of people here that aren't going to be able to afford to stay here. I mean, when they started building all of the luxury stuff, I knew that, rents were going to raise and a lot of people were going to have to move. They weren't going to be able to afford to stay here any longer. And that has happened. But you've got a chunk of people who were still able to hold on regardless due to the fact that Section 8 has been helping them. And they saw no end in sight of that possibly happening. They thought they was gonna see the grand transformation over here and they were gonna be here to see it happening because their rent is being paid for on the backs of everybody else. But that's changing now. That's not gonna happen. Because with the rent prices that have become the norm over here, there's no way they're gonna be able to afford this stuff without Section 8 covering those expenses. When they get hit with that first month non-Section 8 and gotta pay like $1,600, I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comments though about this. Do you know anyone who's gonna be affected? And we've got noise twice. We had one pickup truck go past that was making a bunch of noise, and now this moving van is going past making a bunch of noise. So y'all got noise a couple times in my video today. But anyway, do you guys know of anybody who is going to be affected by this? Are you yourself going to be affected by this? How do you feel about Section 8 going away? Do you agree with it or not? Hit me with them likes if you like what I do. Hit me with them subs if you like what I do. Hit me in them comments. I'll holler at y'all soon. Peace.